Hi, I'm Aziel. 3 years after my divorce, I'm still trying to figure out this co-parenting thing. My daughter Lily is the center of my universe. This bright-eyed 7-year-old who somehow manages to see the good in everything, despite the mess her mom and I made of our marriage. Sunday evening pickup from Vanessa's place had become a routine I dreaded. This time, Lily climbed into my car looking worse than usual. Red-faced, quiet, and moving like her little body ached. "You okay, Pumpkin? Looks like you got some sun today." "I'm just tired, Daddy." I handed her my water bottle. She drank half of it in one go. "Thirsty too, huh? What did you do at Mommy's this weekend?" "Nothing much. Mommy had to work, so I stayed with Grandma Martha and Grandpa Gerald." Again. Vanessa was constantly dumping our daughter with her parents, the same people who thought children should be seen and not heard. At home, I noticed Lily's shoulders were peeling. "Did you wear sunscreen at Grandma's?" She looked down at her sneakers. "I didn't go outside much." That night after her bath, I spotted more red marks on her back. Not just sunburn, pressure marks like she'd been leaning against something rough. Over the next few weeks, a pattern emerged. Lily would return from Vanessa's exhausted, sometimes dehydrated, especially when the weekend had been hot. She'd wake up with nightmares she wouldn't talk about. One night, after a particularly bad dream, she finally broke. "Daddy, I don't want to go to Grandma and Grandpa's anymore." "Did something happen, sweetheart?" Her little chin trembled. "When I'm bad, they put me in the garden shed to think about what I did." My blood went cold. "What do you mean by bad?" "When I spill things or talk too loud or ask for snacks before dinner." Tears welled in her eyes. "The shed gets really hot, Daddy. There's no windows, and sometimes I have to stay there for hours." I held her tight, trying to control the rage building inside me. "You're not bad, Lily. You're a kid. Kids make noise and spill things." The next day, I confronted Vanessa outside her workplace. "You're working weekends and leaving Lily with your parents, who are locking her in a shed as punishment?" "Don't be dramatic, Aziel. My parents are helping me out, and they have old-school discipline. It's not abuse. She comes back dehydrated with sunburns. Maybe you should take better care of her skin routine and stop filling her head with ideas that normal discipline is abuse. This is exactly why we couldn't stay married. You undermine me at every turn. This isn't about us. This is about Lily's safety. You just can't stand that she loves my parents. You're trying to poison her against my whole family. I'm not discussing this anymore." That evening, I called my buddy Ray, who went through a nasty custody battle last year. "They're locking her in a shed, in this heat? Man, that's messed up." "I know, but Vanessa won't listen. I'm afraid if I make too much noise, they'll hide what they're doing better. I need to catch them red-handed." "You need evidence, bro, and a good lawyer. I know someone who can help. But first, we need to document everything." I looked at the calendar, 3 days until Lily would go back to Vanessa's. I had to move fast. Ray arrived with a notebook and camera the next morning. "We need to document everything. Dates, times, physical marks, anything you can track." I showed him photos on my phone. "Look at her back after that 95-degree weekend. Good start, but we need more than pictures. Has she seen a doctor?" "Not specifically for this. I didn't know what was happening until now. Call her pediatrician today. Get everything documented professionally." We spent hours organizing evidence, a timeline of every symptom and behavior change after Lily's weekends with Vanessa and her parents. The following day, I met with Ray's lawyer friend, Diana. Physical evidence is crucial, but we also need testimony without traumatizing Lily further. She handed me a teddy bear keychain with a tiny black dot. "Voice-activated recorder. Battery lasts 48 hours. Completely legal for you to give to your daughter for protection." That evening, I gave Lily her new keychain. "This is a special bear, Pumpkin. If anyone says something scary, this bear remembers it for you." "Like a memory bear?" "Exactly. Keep him with you, especially at Grandma and Grandpa's." The weekend crawled by. Sunday evening, I downloaded the recordings while Lily bathed. My hands trembled as I pressed play. "You spilled juice again? What's wrong with you?" Martha's voice was sharp. "I'm sorry, Grandma. It was an accident. Go wait in the shed while I clean this up." "Please no. It's really hot today." "Should have thought about that before making a mess. Maybe the heat will teach you to be careful." There was more. Gerald threatening shed time for talking during their TV show. Martha calling Lily difficult just like her father. 8 hours of abuse compressed into 40 minutes. The next day, I confronted them at their house. "What are you doing here?" Gerald demanded. "I'm here about the shed." His expression flickered. "What shed?" The one you lock my daughter in when she spills juice or talks during your precious TV shows? Martha appeared behind him. That's ridiculous. We have a timeout corner like any grandparents. I have recordings. Lily had a device with her. You had no right to record in our home, Gerald shouted. That's illegal. It's perfectly legal to protect my child. Want to hear yourselves threatening a 7-year-old? Martha pointed at my chest. If you pursue this, we'll make sure Vanessa gets full custody. That evening, messages flooded in from Vanessa's family. Her sister called me paranoid. Her cousin suggested I needed mental help. Vanessa called at midnight. My parents told me what you did. Are you trying to destroy our family? I'm trying to protect our daughter. From what? Discipline? Structure? From being locked in a shed in 95-degree heat? They're strict, Oziel, not abusive. They raised me just fine. Did they lock you in sheds too? Silence then. Sometimes kids need tough love. Tough love isn't child endangerment, Vanessa. This ends now. The call with Vanessa left me seething. I met with Diana the next morning to formulate a strategy. Your recordings are compelling, but judges prefer multiple forms of evidence, she explained, laying out documents on her desk. We need to prove the environment is consistently dangerous. What exactly are you thinking? This, she pulled out a small digital device. It's a weather monitor that logs temperature and humidity. If we can prove the shed reaches dangerous temperatures while Lily is there, that's concrete evidence of endangerment. And we need to be smart about timing, she continued. I'm filing initial paperwork, but we're not requesting an emergency hearing yet. Let them think you're backing down. I nodded. So I play nice while we gather more evidence? Exactly. Can your friend Ray help with surveillance? Already on it. I texted Ray the plan that afternoon. The next day I called Vanessa, forcing my voice to sound defeated. Look, maybe I overreacted. I still don't agree with your parents' methods, but I don't want to drag Lily through a legal battle. Finally showing some sense. Mom and Dad aren't monsters, Oziel. Just ask them to go easier on her, okay? That weekend, I installed the weather monitor inside Lily's teddy bear alongside the recorder. Remember, Pumpkin, keep this with you everywhere, especially if you have to go to the special thinking place. Her eyes widened in understanding. Even in the shed? Especially there. Ray parked down the street from Martha and Gerald's house both Saturday and Sunday, pretending to work on his laptop while actually monitoring the situation with a long-range camera. Nothing Saturday, he reported, but Sunday was gold. Temperature hit 97 degrees, and I've got clear video of them marching her to the shed at 1:17 p.m. She didn't come out until 3:42 p.m. No water, no bathroom breaks. I felt sick. Did she have the bear? Clutching it the whole time. When they finally let her out, she could barely walk straight. They practically dragged her inside. We downloaded the weather data. The temperature inside the shed had reached 118 degrees. This is child endangerment, plain and simple, Diana said, reviewing our evidence. I'm filing for emergency custody modification first thing tomorrow. By Wednesday, we had our hearing scheduled for the following Monday. But Thursday brought a heat wave warning, 109 degrees predicted for Sunday. We can't wait until Monday, I told Diana. Lily could literally die in that shed. I'll call in a favor with Judge Peterson. She might authorize police intervention if we show her what we have. Sunday arrived with blistering heat. According to our weather app, it was already 102 degrees by noon. Ray called me from his surveillance position. They just took her to the shed, man. She was crying. I called it in to the officer we arranged. 20 minutes later, I pulled up behind a police cruiser outside Martha and Gerald's house. Officer Jenkins nodded at me. Mr. Davis, we received a report of possible child endangerment. My daughter's in their garden shed. In this heat. He glanced at his car thermometer reading 107. Let's check it out. Gerald answered the door, his face dropping when he saw me with police. What's the meaning of this intrusion? Sir, we've received a report that a minor might be in danger on your property. We need to check your backyard. This is private property. You can't just... We can if we believe a child is in imminent danger, Officer Jenkins replied firmly. Now please step aside. The look on Gerald's face as we walked toward their backyard told me everything. For the first time since this began, I saw something I'd been waiting for. Fear. As we rounded the corner to the backyard, Martha stood frozen, her face draining of color when she spotted the officer. What's going on? You can't just barge onto our property. Officer Jenkins ignored her. Ma'am, where is the child? I pointed to the weathered shed. She's in there. There's no one in the shed, Martha insisted, stepping in front of us. The padlock on the door confirmed everything. Jenkins turned to Gerald. Open it, now. Gerald's hands trembled with the keys. When the door swung open, the heat that hit us was suffocating. Inside, Lily sat slumped against the wall, clothes soaked with sweat, clutching her teddy bear keychain. Daddy? Her voice was weak, lips cracked. I scooped her up, her skin burning against mine. I'm here, baby. Officer Jenkins radioed for an ambulance while taking readings. 118 degrees in here. My God. Martha and Gerald stood paralyzed as paramedics treated Lily for severe dehydration. We were just disciplining her, Martha mumbled. We didn't mean harm. You locked a 7-year-old in an oven, I spat. What did you think would happen? At the hospital, Diana arrived with court papers already filed. Judge Peterson has issued an emergency order. You have full custody, effective immediately. Vanessa burst into the room, face streaked with tears. I swear I didn't know it was this bad. But you knew they were putting her in that shed. She looked away. I thought it was just time out, not this. The court hearing was brief. Martha and Gerald sat stone-faced as the judge reviewed our evidence. The court grants Aziel Davis full custody. Vanessa Davis is granted supervised visitation only. Martha and Gerald Thompson are to have no contact with the child pending criminal charges. They accepted a plea deal, child endangerment with 18 months probation and mandatory counseling. Their social standing crumbled overnight. Their church removed Gerald from the deacon board. Neighbors who once waved now crossed the street. 6 months later, Lily sat in her therapist's office for her final evaluation. She's made remarkable progress, Dr. Wilson explained. The nightmares have subsided. That evening, as I tucked Lily into bed, she asked about her grandparents. Are they still mad at me? No, Pumpkin. They moved to Florida last month. You don't have to worry about them anymore. And Mommy? She's working on herself. That's why you only see her at Miss Patty's house for now. Lily hugged her new stuffed unicorn. No recording devices this time. I'm glad you saved me from the hot place, Daddy. Always, baby, I'll always keep you safe. My phone buzzed with a text from Ray. News that Martha and Gerald's house had finally sold at a steep discount. Nobody wanted the house where those horrible people had abused their granddaughter. Justice had been served, not just by the courts, but by the community that now embraced us and shunned them. What would you have done if you were in Aziel's shoes? Should he have confronted the grandparents immediately, or was he right to gather evidence first? And do you think Vanessa deserved a second chance, or should she have lost all visitation rights for allowing this abuse to happen? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story of a father's fight for justice resonated with you, hit that like button so more people can see it. New stories of triumph over toxic people every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.